Trinity University Tigers. First, starting lineup for UMHB. Leading off in left field, Carson Hagan. Batting second in center, Cameron Calverton. Batting third in the DH, Tyler Betts. Batting fourth and third baseman, Riley Bender. Batting fifth and first baseman, Shane Hewitt. Batting sixth and second baseman, Alejandro Sanchez. Batting seventh and Garrett Freeman. Batting eighth and shortstop, Austin Clark. Batting ninth and right fielder, George Fernandez. On the hill for the Crusaders, 29 James. And now from the University Tigers. Leading off in the field of sophomore Batting second in right field, San Antonio, number 9, Matt Nolan. Batting third in right field, Carrollton, Texas, number 15, Nicholas Lazara. Batting fourth in left field, freshman from Texas, number 19, Baker. Batting fifth at first base, freshman from Houston, Texas, number 16, Inning. Batting sixth at DH from Missouri, Texas, number 25, Milton. Batting seventh from third base, freshman from Austin, Texas, number 14, Anderson. Batting eighth from second base, from Austin, number 5, Batting ninth at third, freshman from Austin, Texas, number 42, John Randy. On the hill for the Tigers, from January, California, number 34, Kevin. You can take a look very good in Dave Smith. Let's go to Tigers, first 10. Now level 35.
Welcome to another windy day in San Antonio, Texas, as we're set for midweek action between the Mary Hardin-Baylor Crusaders and the Trinity University Tigers. Hello, everybody. Welcome to San Antonio, Texas. I'm Cole Isaacson, joined alongside Reed Rosales. And Reed, these two teams, familiar with each other, play usually twice every year. Second game between them this season.
Cole, well, it's actually the first game between these two this season because the first game got canned due to weather when we had that awful cold stretch in San Antonio before the year. decided to move the game to a more hospitable part of the year. Now, I think a much better time, because it would have been miserable to call that game in about, 30-degree weather.
Definitely a wise decision by all parties involved. Beautiful day here, a bit windy. The wind blowing out to left field today. Starting pitcher for the Tigers is Zach Balbin. And we're underway in San Antonio. Balbin going against the Mary Hardin-Baylor leadoff man Carson Hagan, a .333 average on the season with 13 RBIs, OPS over 1,000. Pitch high, ball 1, thrown by Balbin. Balbin getting the call as a midweek starter for Trinity, wrapping up a very busy part of their schedule. Pitch from Balbin. Check swing, did he go? Yes.
He's coming in from behind us.
So then the 1-2 count. Pitch outside brings the count to 2-2. This Mary Hardin-Baylor offense very dangerous, 29th in the country in batting average. Team averaging a .338. This is popped up into left, and the catch is made by Will Baker for out number 1.
And this is one of the interesting positionings for this Tigers defense, Cole. Will Baker on left. We haven't seen that this year so far. But, this is a stout UMHB offense. See if they can poke some holes in that defense.
Cameron Talbert up to the plate. Takes pitch inside from Balbin. 1 down, nobody on here in the top of the first. Talbert, a senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Takes a fastball down the middle, strike 1, count 1-1, making his 15th start of the year and his 15th appearance, a .302 batting average. The on-base percentage at .474. Balbin throws a ball low. Count 1-1. Ground ball, chopper to Ramsey. Throw across, not in time. Would have been a pretty impressive defensive play by the first-year shortstop. Can't quite be made. And UMHB has their first base runner.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Cole. It's a good play to be made anyways. Don't let it go into the outfield. It was a good throw and a close play. UMHB, that base runner on. You want to do damage at the beginning.
Tyler Betts now up to the plate, and this pitch gets away. So a free base runner into scoring position for UMHB. Not a mistake you can afford to make against this offense.
No, Cole, they are one of the best in the nation with that batting average. Taking on the top team in the SCAC right now.
Betts, the junior from Round Rock, Texas, hitting .500 on the year. Takes a pitch high, 2-0, somebody you have to be very, very careful with. Balbin behind, 2-0. The runner on second is Talbert. Big swing and a miss from Betts. Count 2-1.
And you've mentioned it, Cole. It is windy today again. I can't quite recall a stretch where it's been this windy, this consistently over the entirety of spring break and now into coming back to classes.
Continuing today. Balbin behind, 2-1. Still with the runner on second to concern himself with. Pickoff attempt and a nice catch made by Michael Lustina, who had to range over to make that play. Stop the ball from getting into center field. But you're right, it's very windy. I was walking down here from my apartment across campus and thought, oh, this is going to be a fun one today. 2-1 pitch. Hit into the air to shallow center. Woodward camps under it. Runner has to go back to second. The throw in time. And they get him for a double play. So Zach Balbin faces the minimum in the first in a bit of an unorthodox way. The double play forced by center fielder Caleb Woodward. Tigers up to bat when we come back. Welcome back to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas. You see the Trinity Tigers lineup on your screen. Center fielder Caleb Woodward leading things off, followed by Maddox McDonald, Nicholas Lazera doing the catching, Will Baker in left field, followed by Jack Henning at first base, the first year, Brandon Nelson doing the DHing duties, followed by Grant Anderson, Michael Lustina at second, John Ramsey at short. And pitching for the Mary Hardin-Baylor Crusaders, it will be one of their better pitchers. You'd think he'd be a weekend starter, but weird scheduling issues for UMHB have him pitching in the middle of the week. It's James McGlumphy, the senior from Round Rock, Texas, making his 6th start of the year, ERA at 3.71. 26 strikeouts, only 6 walks. First pitch to Woodward, outside, ball 1. Reed, a tough challenge on Tuesday for the Tigers.
Certainly, Cole. It's something similar they encountered against Hardin-Simmons, where they threw one of their better pitchers in a midweek game as well.
Pitch misses away to Woodward. 2-0. Woodward, a 286 hitter on the year. Finds himself leading off where he usually is. Had some games off in that Cortland series against lefties that the Red Dragons were throwing, but back in the leadoff spot today. Takes a pitch low. Now 3-0. McGlumphy, not known for walking people, only 6 all year. Through 5 games, in danger of losing the leadoff man in Woodward. The 3-0. Strike called down the middle.
Yeah, it's an interesting challenge to face, but it's another good test for the Tigers. They're going to be seeing a lot of good pitching down the stretch.
Fouled off, and McGlumphy battles back to bring it to 3-2. Tigers trying to get the leadoff man aboard in Woodward. Chopper off the glove of McGlumphy. Fielded at second, but the throw will not be in time. Tough play from the get-go with that ball slowed down.
Certainly, Cole. It wasn't just the slowdown, but both the shortstop and the second baseman were trying to make a play on it. You'll see on your screen almost a bit of a collision, made it a bit awkward to turn around and throw.
So now Maddox McDonald, the number 2 hitter for Trinity, hitting .358 on the year with 20 RBIs. Works with Woodward on first. Woodward has been known to swipe second every now and then. We'll see if the Tigers send him at any point during this at-bat. And there he goes right away. Ground ball up the middle. Could be 2 anyways. Throw to first in time. Worked out for Alejandro at second, who was standing on the base when he fielded the ball. A double play.
Well, Cole, we've seen 2 hit-and-run attempts, one from both sides, and they've worked about equally as much as the other. Yeah, Maddox McDonald reaching out for that breaking ball, did not get solid contact. That is probably the easiest double play UMHB will turn.
A weak chopper up the middle with Alejandro Sanchez right there on second base. Nick Lazera up to bat. Takes a strike. Lazera had quite the series against Cortland. Hit multiple home runs, was intentionally walked twice in the same game. Shows you the fear that he put. The 0-1 misses low, 1-1.
He's who the Tigers look to get offensive sparks going when there's nobody on base.
Pitch high and outside, 2-1. Tigers were able to get the leadoff runner on, but erased with the double play almost immediately. 1 double play for each team already in the first inning. Pitch from McGlumphy, 2-1, is fouled off by Lazera into the screen above the dugout, 2-2.
See if Lazera can drive one into right field. He's had a good amount of home runs over the past week, and he's hit them all pretty hard. They've all been no-doubters.
Wind blowing out into left field. Pitch low, brings the count to 3-2. Now it's almost turned to be almost in from right field, so maybe not ideal conditions with Lazera batting from his left-handed side. We'll see. 3-2 pitch, 2 down. Is lined into left field. off the end of the bat. Lazera has a 2-out single.
Once again, he's trying to be a fire starter for this rally, Cole. Riley Bender just not quite positioned in the right spot. He tries to make a play on it, but just too quick to react.
Goes right past his glove on the hot corner, and it brings up the cleanup hitter, Will Baker, hitting .324 on the air with 9 RBIs. Works with Lazera on first, the second base runner the Tigers have had already in this game. Baker takes a strike. McGullumflee's last start, pitched 5.1 innings against TLU, also in a midweek appearance. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, gave up 8 hits, 7 runs, only 5 of them earned though. Trying to bounce back from that performance last week. Ahead 0-1. Pitch misses outside.
And that was another game that had to be rescheduled due to weather. It was a series that had just been postponed. They got 1 game in, I believe in Seguin, and then they had to move it later down the year.
The 1-1 pitch to Baker, working with Lazera on first, 2 down in the inning. Lazera bluffs like he's going to run. Baker fouls it out of play towards the street behind the ballpark. Baker now down 1-2. We've had some funky weather here in Texas this year. All the rain earlier and now the wind that we've had for the last 2 weeks. You've heard it in our microphones if you've been listening. We've had home games, it feels like every day for the last week and a half. Only 2 days off in the last 13. Pitch away from Baker brings the count to 2-2.
It's had an effect in pretty much every game so far. The wind just makes being any fielder miserable when you have to track a ball that could change at any time.
2-2 count, 2 down in the inning. Baker takes a pitch inside, count full again. Back-to-back Tigers working a full count. So it looked like after the double play, McGullumflee might have a very quick inning in terms of pitch count. Tigers able to run it up at least a little bit. The 3-2 to Baker. Lazera will run, pitch inside, ball 4, and Baker heads to first. 2 on for Trinity.
Tigers are trying to break out those rally towels, get something going with 2 outs on the board. It's always going to be a tall task to go against a Tiger team that feels like they can do just about anything.
Now Jack Henning coming up to the plate, the first year, playing at first base, one of 4 first years in this starting lineup. Pitch, big swing and a miss from Henning. Henning getting an opportunity in recent games to play at first. Tigers trying something new today. Will Baker had been the usual first baseman. He's in left field. And now he's on first base, waiting to see what Henning will do. The 0-1, 2 down in the inning. Down the chute, strike 2.
And Henning's been put in a pretty big part of the batting order in 5-hole spot. That's nothing to sneeze at, certainly.
Runners on first and second. Trinity trying to grab the early lead. McGullumflee working in the first. The pitch outside. And a good block by Deck to keep that from getting behind him and putting 2 in scoring position. Henning in a 1-2 count. Big swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. A strikeout to end the inning for McGullumflee. Back-to-back scoreless frames here in San Antonio. We head to the top of the second, still tied at 0. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. 0-0 between the UMHB Crusaders and the Trinity Tigers. Zach Balbin working in his second inning, and he'll face one of the more dangerous hitters in this UMHB lineup, Riley Bender, playing at third. You see the average on your screen, 421, and a big swing and a miss from the third baseman. Count now 0-1. Bender hitting cleanup today. And he sends one high in foul territory. Is it playable? No, it's not. Runs out of the ballpark.
It's good work by Balbin to get ahead in the count early on. Try and get through this lineup quick. Had a efficient inning thanks to the double play that was one of the odder double plays that we've seen here.
The 0-2 pitch from Balbin. Hit to second. Lustina makes the throw in time, and there's quickly one away. You talk about the odd double play. It was a hit and run for UMHB, and it did not go according to plan. Caleb Woodward making a nice throw to second to get two.
And that's what they love about Caleb Woodward. Not only does he come up clutch at the plate, but he is a stellar outfielder as well.
Shane Mellick out, hitting fifth for the Crusaders. Takes ball one. Mellick making his 10th start of the season and his 13th appearance. Pops one up, foul out of play onto the roof of the Bell Center. 2-3, not a record breaker. For any UMHB fans just joining us, we're broadcasting from the roof of the Bell Athletic Center right across from the ballpark. This is fouled into the screen. Count now 1-2. And any foul ball that comes on the Bell Center, we have a very good look at it, so we count hops. And so far the record is 7 hops from a foul ball onto the Bell Center. The 1-2, lined into center field. Woodward comes in, but not enough. Not going to be able to get that one. Holds Mellick to a single. And with one out, UMHB has one on.
Yeah, not much Woodward could have done. Maybe if he hit the Jets, he could have made a diving play, but I think much smarter to just let it fall, limit him to a single.
That brings up Alejandro Sanchez III, hitting .313 on the year. Big swing and a miss to start things off. 0-1. Alejandro Sanchez III tied for the team lead in home runs with 4 on the season. Check on the runner at first, back safely. Sanchez just part of a UMHB offense that's doing exceptionally well. The average actually a little bit low for the standards of this batting order. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And Reed, you're seeing that home run swing early. 2 big cuts at pitches from Balbin.
Yeah, sometimes you take a sacrifice in batting average for a guy who can just really hit the ball.
Big swing and a miss again. Balbin gets him on 3 pitches, 2 down in the inning.
And that's kind of what you get. You get what you pay for sometimes when you have batters like that that do go deep quite a bit but have that lower batting average. A reason that the batting average is so low is that they usually strike out quite a bit.
Trey Deck III comes up to the plate, takes ball 1 inside from Balbin. Of course, the batting average for Alejandro Sanchez III, low for UMHB standards, still hitting .313 on the year. Deck takes a strike, but running through just some of the orders on my sheet here, .333 from Carson Hagan, .421 from Riley Bender, .410 from Shane Mellick, .302 from Cameron Talbert. Grounded foul brings the count to 1-2. The point is, UMHB can hit, and they can hit really well.
They've been hitting well against non-conference competition, which has been the entirety of their schedule so far. This is one of their final non-conference games.
Check on the runner at first, steps back safely. UMHB has actually a similar schedule to Trinity, mostly playing the SCAC so far. They played Muhlenberg this past weekend. Runner goes, pitch fouled off into the screen, and we'll do it again. But Trinity also mostly playing the SCAC just because of how loaded it is with teams. 30 conference games this year out of 40. They started with SCAC play. So UMHB actually following a similar path. The 1-2 from Balbin popped up, foul onto the roof of the Bell Center. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, and that's it.
It's kind of a difference between the two conferences right now. With the SCAC being so overloaded, the ASC, they were looking for teams and they did find them, that's for sure, but right now they are a bit low.
Take strike 3, and with him the third out of the inning. Zach Balbin has worked 2 scoreless so far tonight. We'll head to the bottom of the second in San Antonio. Still 0-0. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Another windy day as the wind blows in from right field. Brandon Nelson stepping up to the plate. The DH hitting .344 on the year, including some clutch hits against the University of Cortland State College up in New York. First pitch to Nelson. Fouled off, brings the count to 0-1. Nelson in Game 3 came up to the plate in a pinch hit appearance. Game tied at 9. Got a 2 RBI single. The Tigers would win that game 13-9. That ended up being the game-winning hit. The 0-1. Pitch misses low, 1-1. Talked to Nelson about it. He said he was just chilling on the bench, having a drink of water, and then Tim Scandal comes over and says, "Hey, get ready. Get your batting gloves." Comes up, gets the pitch he wants, and it ended up being the game winner. Not the pitch he wanted there, takes it inside, 2-1.
I wonder if that's how it usually goes for Coach Scannell asking for a pinch hit. They're just enjoying themselves, and he goes up like, "All right, you're up."
Fouled it off himself, it looks like. Evens the count at 2-2. Gonna take a little walk. Understandable, doesn't feel good getting hit by a foul ball.
But, coming up clutch in that situation. SUNY Cortland, really, really good team. Get the split. They split spring break for how many games they've been playing in a short amount of days.
This is lined right at short. And a very nice catch made by Easton Klein over there. 1 down.
Yeah, right to him. It's a good jump, little hop to snag the ball. If you didn't get it, that was going to do some damage, but you did get it. So, great job. It was laced on a rope, too.
First year, Grant Anderson hitting .286 comes up to the plate. Anderson hits this one sky high into shallow center. Klein makes the call from short and makes the catch in shallow center field for out number 2.
Maybe a bit unfortunate for Grant Anderson. The wind kind of died down as soon as he hit the pop-up. The wind was still messing with it a little bit, but not as much as it maybe could have been. It's still a tough play to make the catch, but the catch is made.
Michael Lustina comes up to the plate, hitting 147. Pitch from McGlumphy. Finds the zone, strike one. Lustina working with nobody on and 2 down in the inning. 2 hits aside so far in this one as we're in the second. Takes a pitch high. Count even at 1-1. Lustina with a 2-hit game against Cortland. Trying to produce similar results today here in the middle of the week. Breaking ball finds the zone. Count now 1-2.
Lustina almost hit a home run. I mean, it really, the wind robbed it from being a home run if you really think about it.
So we'll basically count it.
Yeah, we'll count it.
1 home run on the year for Lustina. The 1-2. Lines one up the middle. It's a base hit into center field. And Michael Lustina is on first with 2 down in the inning.
Oh my goodness, Cole. Just a great hit. Gets one right where he wants. It's a breaking ball in the worst part for McGlumphy. Michael Lustina on first base. And when he gets on base, who knows what can happen.
John Ramsey coming up to the plate, hitting 9th. Ramsey, a 167 hitter on the season with 13 runs scored. Opportunity to improve that average here in this plate appearance. First pitch is chopped. Play at short. Will it be in time? No. Lustina beats it out. So Michael Lustina doing it all today, keeping this inning alive for the Tigers.
Yeah, a great play, Cole. I mean, Lustina puts his body on the line to slide in and stay safe. And now the Tigers have a runner in scoring position. I mean, it can't get any better than this.
Caleb Woodward now comes up to the plate, the leadoff man, as the 8 and 9 hitters both reach for Trinity. Lustina on second, Ramsey at first. Woodward walked to begin this game, and his only plate appearance so far. McGlumphy will throw back, trying to nab Lustina at second, who dives back safely, putting his body on the line once again. Still 2 down, Tigers trying to create some 2-out magic here in the second. Pitch misses low, count 1-0 to Woodward.
And Woodward has found himself in similar situations where he comes up to bat with the runner in scoring position. Try to come up clutch against another really strong pitcher in McGlumphy.
The 1-0. Misses low, 2-0. So a hitter's count for Caleb Woodward with Lustina on second and Ramsey at first. Tigers trying to score the first runs of this game, out hitting UMHB 4-2 so far. Woodward hits one into left field, back at the wall, it carries and it's gone! 2-out magic from Caleb Woodward, and it's 3-0 Trinity. Oppo Taco gives the Tigers the lead.
Man, Cole, when that was hit, I thought it might have a chance because the wind was just blowing so strong out into left field. Normally, on perfect conditions, that's probably warning track power, maybe just a bit before, but it pushes the ball out. The wind comes into play again on a home run. Oppo Taco.
That ball just kept carrying, and eventually it just went over the fence. Maddox McDonald comes up to the plate, 0 for 1 today. 347 on the year, OPS above 1,000 still. Pitch outside, 1-1, so exactly what Trinity wanted to do, getting to the starting pitcher of UMHB, McGlumphy. One of their better ones on the year, and he's been one of their better ones for a little bit now. Big swing and a miss from McDonald, 1-2.
And it's all because of that rally started by Michael Lustina, Cole.
McGlumphy was all ASC second team last season. 1-2, did McDonald go? Yes, he did. So a strikeout to end the inning for McGlumphy, but the damage done, all with 2 outs. Michael Lustina gets it started. Caleb Woodward finishes it over the wall in left field. Tigers have the 3-0 lead off the home run. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Trinity with a 3-0 lead off the home run from Caleb Woodward. UMHB trying to respond down early. The shortstop Easton Klein up to the plate, hitting .341 all the year. Yet another Crusader hitting over 300 here in this lineup. Thinks about bunting, but pulls it back. Ball 1 high from Balbin, who's had a good start to his outing so far. Only 2 hits allowed so far. Scoreless 2 innings, trying to keep it rolling with a 3-0 lead. 1-0 is grounded fair. Balbin has to pick it up. Kind of a shovel pass to Henning, but it works out. 1 down.
A great job by Balbin fielding his position. Gets the weak contact drawn. That's what you want if you're Zach Balbin.
Odd throw. Looked like he was going to underhand it. Ends up just flipping it. Jordan Fernandez now comes up to the plate with 1 down. Takes a ball low and inside. Fernandez hitting .367 on the year. The slugging, get this, .733. A hot start to the year for Jordan Fernandez. This is hit high in the air to right field. Lustina makes the catch in shallow right for out number 2. There goes Michael Lustina again.
And again, that wind, Cole, that made that play a bit of a fire drill for all the Tiger fielders. Lustina with the trusty glove makes the catch, but that wind, anything can happen.
And you see the wind through the camera now, shaking a little bit out in center field. Carson Hagan comes up with 2 down. Takes a ball low from Balvin. Carson Hagan, .333 hitter on the year. And where you have to watch out for with Hagan is when he gets on. Two down in the inning.
No, I think it's the wind. It is really windy.
2-0 pitch coming up from Balbin. Fouled off, but when Hagan gets on base, 13 stolen bases. He's only been caught once. And you can understand why a player like that would be hitting leadoff.
Absolutely. When you're that big of a threat, getting on base, they're going to want you on as many times as possible.
Lines one into right, and McDonald will have no chance at that one. Lets it fall shy of his feet. A 2-out single for Carson Hagan.
And there you go. Get on base. I'll try to do a little 2-out rally of their own, Cole. We'll see how well it works out.
Shane Mellick, Cameron Talbert comes up to the plate. 1 for 1 today. Takes a strike. Talbert, the senior, making his 15th start of the year. Fouled off into the screen behind Talbert. The wind continues to rip in from right field. Count now 0-2. Talbert 5 stolen bases in the series this weekend against Muhlenberg. Takes a ball high, 1-2.
And Muhlenberg, one of those teams out of the Centennial, made their spring break trip down here. They usually do.
They check on Hagen at first to no avail.
But you're right, Cole. A lot of SCAC teams on the schedule. They, of course, played that famous triple header against Austin College to start their year. That first game took 17 hours to complete.
They check on Hagen again, back safely once again. Understandable why Balbin is checking on him. But we actually had Austin College for our opening series as well here in San Antonio, and that was a lot of baseball. Got to talk to Coach Sean Counts from the Ruse about that. Lazera will throw to first. Not in time. Saw multiple blue jerseys working their way back to the dugout. They thought Lazera got him with the throw. It was close.
It was close, Cole. We'll see if we get a look on the replay here. Yeah, ball in the turf. He's way off bag.
Oh. This is hit deep in the air, back to left field, and it is gone. Cameron Talbert leaving the yard, the second home run of this game for either team, 3-2, as we're in for a shootout today, it looks like.
Cole, that home run is doubly as painful considering the last play that just happened. That play so close to first base. If that was out, that home run doesn't happen. But for UMHB, you'll take what you can get. They're only down by 1.
Now, Reed, they say the ball does not lie, and if it doesn't, that means that Hagen probably safe at first, but we'll never know. Tyler Betts comes up to the plate, hitting 500 on the air. Takes a strike. Betts, a part of that double play that happened in the first inning. Well hit ball out to center field. Caleb Woodward making the play, but a hit and run called. Runner at second tagged out. Pitch high from Balbin. 1-1. Strike called. 1-2.
I can guarantee you there's no one more frustrated about the back pick over at first than Nick Lazera, who I'm sure really thought he had him dead to rights.
Swing and a miss. Betts fans on that one. The inning ends with a strikeout, but UMHB draws just a bit closer. A 2-run homer from Cameron Talbert makes this a 3-2 game. We'll head to the bottom of the third here on Tiger Network. Welcome back. The sun setting here in San Antonio. The lights starting to take their full effect as we enter the bottom of the third. Nick Lazera set to lead things off. Lazera well above a 300 hitter so far this year. Working to lead off the bottom of the third. Strike called, a breaking ball. Tigers trying to respond. UMHB getting 2 runs back in the top of the third. 2-run homer. This is hit sharply on the ground. Sanchez throws in time, 1 down.
Yeah, that's a tough play for Sanchez when it's hit that hard and it takes a bounce, but good leather work to snag the ball, get the first out, take out one of the Tigers' most dangerous bats.
Will Baker coming up to the plate. Baker out in left field today. He's already seen some action, and he's had the unfortunate experience of every left fielder has at one point or another of seeing a ball going over your head and knowing there's nothing you can do about it. Baker hitting cleanup today, where he has for the last several games for Trinity. He's cemented himself in this starting rotation. Pitch inside, 1-1. Takes a ball low, 2-1. Reed, the pitching has been where UMHB has maybe had some problems. A 5.70 ERA, that's 154th in the country. They score enough runs to have a winning record, 9-5 so far. Fouled off by Baker, brings the count to 2-2. So they outscore their problems at times, but still trying to get a little better on the mound. McGlumphy definitely a part of the solution for them.
For sure, Cole. And this is a big game for the Tigers, because if you can beat McGlumphy.
Ground ball off the glove of Sanchez, and that might have gotten him in the face. Baker at first makes his way to second as the ball gets into left field, but all the concern about Alejandro Sanchez. We'll see what happened on the replay.
I think that got him off the face, Cole. That doesn't feel good. We're talking about fouling the ball off yourself, taking a ball off the face after it's been hit. But fortunately, he looks okay enough to stay in the game.
Important player for UMHB, mentioned it earlier, tied for the team lead in home runs with 4. A tough play to make at second base, and he got the worst of it. Baker heads up play, able to take the extra base off of the mishap. Ball ends up in left field, and it looks like the athletic trainer coming out to check on Sanchez.
Yeah, he might be bleeding, and if he is, he has to come off the field because you can't have blood on your jersey.
And unfortunately for UMHB, if he can't get that replaced right away, that means he will not be able to enter this game once again. This is not like soccer where you would elect to play with one down for a short period of time, but it looks like UMHB not going to have that issue.
It might be a concussion protocol check too, because he did take the ball off the head. So just a checkup to make sure he's okay to still play.
Looks good to go. And we're all ready to go. Will Baker on second. Jack Henning comes up with 1 out. Opportunity to extend the lead for Trinity, up 3-2 here in the bottom of the third. Fouls one back into the screen in our direction, 0-1. It's interesting, baseball and soccer, same rules in you're not able to sub back in, but in soccer, you would elect to play with 10 men. Whereas in baseball, you would not play without your second baseman, no shot.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Henning thought about it, but takes a pitch outside, 1-1.
Maybe if the other team sent their pitcher to bat and it happened. Maybe then. But even then, probably not.
The 1-1. Throw back, trying to get Baker at second. It was close, but Baker dives back safely. A couple close calls on the base paths for both teams.
Yeah, that one was really, really close. That might have been the closest play at second.
Both teams have 4 hits so far in this one. I do not believe Will Baker's has been scored as anything quite yet. Still deliberating whether that's an error. This is chopped down the third base line, foul.
I think they've elected Will Baker's as a hit. They usually don't give an error for if a player has the ball go off their body like that.
I would tend to agree. Does not look like it has been put up to date yet. I believe the Tigers came into this inning with 4 hits, so we'll see when that scoring decision gets made, I would agree with you that it would be a hit. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3 from Henning, 2 down in the inning.
But what we were saying before all the action started happening was this is a big game for the Tigers. They're going up against McGlumphy, who's one of the best starters that UMHB has. And the Tigers, they're throwing what is very likely a bullpen game unless Balbin goes 5 more innings at this point. It's a big game for them.
Brandon Nelson comes up to the plate, 0 for 1 today. Takes a breaking ball low. Big game also in the sense that after this one, the schedule significantly lightens up for the Tigers. Their toughest opponent, I would think, would be a series against Southwestern late in the year, but Southwestern's having their struggles to this point. We'll see if they turn it around. They've been in the conference tournament the last 2 years. Other than that, it's a lot of losing records on the schedule for Trinity. Swing and a miss from Nelson, count 1-1.
Yeah, they played all the top teams in the conference before hitting spring break. And now their next conference opponent is at Ozarks, who is the last place team in the conference right now.
1-1. Did he go? They say yes, and the count now 1-2 as Nelson swings.
And couldn't quite hold up there. He really wanted it, Cole. Can't blame him.
1-2 to Nelson from McGlumphy. Nelson pops it up sky high. We'll see if it stays in foul ground and it drifts into the Tiger bullpen. Great effort in left field, but not quite enough room to make the play.
Yeah, that was Hagan over in left. Yeah, that might have been the closest I've seen. I'm not sure I've seen anybody reach in to rob an out in the bullpen yet, but that was about the closest I have seen it, Cole.
He certainly made the effort. Not rewarded with the out. Also made a great effort on that Woodward home run. Put up his glove above the wall, trying everything he could to take that away. The 1-2 pitch to Nelson. Outside, and deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in this inning. McGlumphy trying to work a 0 after his team picked up 2 runs in the top of the frame. This is driven deep out to right field and caught. The catch made at the warning track in right center. Brandon Nelson looked like he may have had another home run, just short in the gap. That'll send us to break. Top of the 4th coming up. It's a 1-run ball game. Welcome back to San Antonio, and we've got bubbles. Somebody blowing bubbles in the crowd. We give a shout out to whoever's doing that. Love it. More bubbles. Top of the 4th. Swing and a foul ball off the pitch from Balbin, who's out there for his 4th inning of work after surrendering 2 in the top of the 3rd. Facing Riley Bender, the 3rd baseman. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Good start for Balbin to this inning. 0-2 count.
And Balbin is who they're looking for to go strong in a midweek game, getting another call after a strong performance against Cortland.
Lined into left field past the dive of Ramsey, and it's a base hit for Bender. He's on first with nobody out.
Yeah, found the gap between the third baseman and the shortstop. Not much that Ramsey could do there. He lays out for it, but that was going to be a really tough play to make. Just great piece of hitting from Bender.
There is some action in the Trinity bullpen, so we'll see how long the leash is for Balbin. Shane Mellick up to the plate, 1 for 1 today. Fouls it off. Pitch inside on the hands, 0-1.
Yeah, we know Balbin's got some stamina behind that arm, but usually he's called to go 3 or 4 innings before the bullpen session takes over.
The 0-1 misses low, 1-1.
He's got what I like to call the Matthew Mackey stamina.
1-1 pitch from Balbin coming soon, but first he'll check on Bender, who walks back safely. We've seen that a few times. You bring up Matthew Mackey, and we talked about this the last time Balbin entered the game, probably one of his most notable appearances in Game 1. Pitch in relief for Jackson Tier. That pitch finds the zone, 1-2. Tigers were already up big in Game 1 in the regional against Laverne. Trinity deciding, hey, we'll pull Tier. We'll save him for another game later in this series. And Balbin pitched the remainder of that game, or almost the remainder of that game. This is hit sky high into left field, running in and making the catch is Will Baker. He hasn't played left field yet this season, but you wouldn't know it looking at that. What a play.
I mean, is there anything this man cannot do? He covered probably the most distance I've seen any outfielder cover this year to make that play.
Because of the wind blowing out in the left, Baker playing all the way to the warning track, and he had to run a long way to get that one. Sanchez drops down a bunt, throw from Balbin high, but in time. Sacrifice is complete, 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, it's a smart play by Balbin. The bunt, not the best bunt in the world. Popped it up a little bit. Balbin can't make a play on it to catch it, but smart decision just going to first, not trying to force things at second.
The catcher, Trey Deck the third, now up. Tying run on second. 2 down in the inning. Balbin trying to work a scoreless fourth. That pitch rides inside, 1-0.
Yeah, Balbin tried to shuffle the deck there.
Very good. Very, very good.
I'm here every day.
The 1-0. Pickoff attempt at second. And back safely is Riley Bender. Balbin trying to make his way through this inning. He's surrendered 5 hits through 3 2/3 innings pitched. 2 earned runs off the home run out there to left field. This is lined in the left, and it could score. Runner coming home, and this is a tie game. RBI single from Trey Deck the third. We're tied at 3.
Yeah, that pitch just slammed by Trey Deck and the left field. Nothing the Tigers could do to stop Bender from coming in to score. Yeah, Deck, he pulled an ace out from under his sleeve.
Lazara will come out to talk to Balbin, and we'll see if Dave Smith will join him or not. Doesn't look like it, just a quick meeting between pitcher and catcher. There has been action out in the Tiger bullpen for most of this inning.
I think they're going to try to have Balbin finish out this inning, and maybe this will be his final inning of work because he's already at 2 outs.
UMHB has battled back to tie this game at 3. Tigers taking a 3-0 lead off a Caleb Woodward 3-run homer to opposite field. But we talked about UMHB's ability to score. They're doing it so far, battling back and tying this game. Shortstop Easton Klein, sophomore from Mesa, Arizona, coming up to the plate in his 13th appearance of the season. Deck running, but the pitch is in the dirt, so he's safe. Not a likely candidate to steal bases, but there he goes, and he's at second.
I wonder if that was originally drawn up as a hit and run, Cole, but the pitch was just so far in the turf that it just ended up as your run-of-the-mill stolen base.
And that will be the day for Zach Balbin. He will leave this game in a tie game, 3-all between UMHB and Trinity. A pitching change in San Antonio. We'll be back on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. We have a tie game here on the campus of Trinity University, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Tigers. It's Sam Rickman making his second appearance of the season, through in Game 2 against SUNY Cortland, and now coming into an interesting situation against the University of Mary Hardin-Baylor.
And they're going to have a conversation between Lazera and Rickman real quick. I think just how to tackle the next batter, get out of this inning. UMHB runner still in scoring position for themselves, trying to prevent UMHB from gaining the lead.
Trey Deck the third is on second, and the batter will be Easton Klein, the shortstop. Klein, a .341 hitter on the season. Rickman entering a 1-0 count and forces a chopper to third. Anderson scoops it up, throws it across the diamond, and in time. So one pitch, Rickman able to get out of the jam. This is still a tie game as we head to the bottom of the fourth. 3-all in San Antonio. Welcome back to San Antonio. 3-3 game between Mary Hardin-Baylor and Trinity. Some entertaining action as we enter the bottom of the fourth. Grant Anderson will lead things off for the Tigers against the UMHB starter James McGlumphy. Anderson 0 for 1 today. Leads off this inning. Takes a pitch inside, ball 1. The Tigers offense started out scorching hot. They were averaging over 20 runs a game through their first 4 games, sweeping Austin College and defeating Texas Lutheran University 21-7 in game 1 out there at Seguin. But since then, it's slowed down a little bit. Not necessarily bad numbers, still routinely scoring over 5, but it slowed down particularly in that little losing streak they had this week.
Yeah, and that's mainly the reason that they just got stymied.
Anderson chops that to second, and the throw from Sanchez is made in time, 1 down.
And that was the biggest cause for them losing, is that they went up against pitchers that they just couldn't adjust to, and they couldn't score anything. And when they did score, it was too little, too late usually. Although in the case of Cortland, game 1 was never necessarily close. Game 2, there was some hope that maybe the comeback could be made. And DeSales, that's a tough one to swallow overall.
Michael Lustina up to the plate with 1 down in the inning. He's 1 for 1 today. He also scored a run off the Caleb Woodward homer. Takes a strike, 0-1. Lustina got the 2-out rally going the last time he was up, trying to get something going again for Trinity, as UMHB has scored 3 unanswered runs since his last time up.
The ball is in the Tigers' court right now, Cole. The UMHB's responded. It's up to the Tigers to respond back.
1-1 count with 1 down in the inning. Pitch misses low and inside to Lustina, 2-1. Tigers got the early offense with the 3-run homer from Caleb Woodward. Trying to find some more. This is fouled back into the screen, 2-2.
Lustina poking that one foul. It was going to be a strike, even if it didn't come off the bat. So nothing too dangerous.
The 2-2. Lined up the middle past second base, and it's another base hit for Lustina. He's 2 for 2 today.
Man, Cole, like I said before, when Lustina gets on base, anything can happen. Another just great single up the middle. Great piece of hitting from Lustina. He's scorching hot near the bottom of the order for the Tigers. And it's really good for them because you want that, particularly out of your batters that are trying to flip the lineup over.
The wind kicking up a little bit just in time for the right-handed hitting John Ramsey, 0 for 1 today. And a quick meeting. Trey Deck coming out to talk to his pitcher, McGlumphy. McGlumphy has done well so far in his 4th inning of work, surrendered 3 runs on 6 hits. Trying to keep those offensive numbers where they are. Dealing with the bottom of this Tigers lineup, primarily there for defensive reasons. They love the glove of Lustina and Ramsey. Those two being their middle infielders at second and short respectively. Any offense they can get out of those two they view as pretty much a bonus, but they've gotten it today. Lustina waits on first and has to dive back, does so safely. John Ramsey getting the nickname Skyball from his team. It's an interesting nickname with an interesting story. The team played some beach volleyball in the offseason altogether, and Ramsey, his serve was the Skyball. Bunted to third, throw in time, and the sacrifice is complete. But what I mean by the Skyball serve is this is where you hit it just straight in the air, and the wind will manipulate it and do all sorts of things to it when it's all the way up in the air, and it's very hard when it comes straight back down for somebody to return it, and that's how he got his name. And the reason why he got that name is because there are so many Johns on this team that pretty much all of them were assigned a nickname. And the funny thing is that nobody is actually called John anymore. Nobody got the name. So they all have different nicknames, and Skyball is the one of John Ramsey.
Yeah, the Skyball serve is the most unique serve in volleyball. It's the one that is the least common. You barely see it in play in D3.
Caleb Woodward leading things off, or he's the leadoff hitter, comes up to bat with 2 outs and a runner on second. Now down 0-1 after the strike. Woodward hitting the 3-run homer. Got the Tigers up 3-0 at the time. Did he go? Yes. Home plate umpire saying he went around, and it's 0-2. Only a 2-man umpiring crew today. No first base ump to check those swings. The 0-2 to Woodward. Pitch just misses inside. Excuse me, there is a first base ump. He was blocked by the camera. I looked at the field and I only saw 2. So the first base umpire saying Woodward did go, excuse me. The 1-2 count. Chopped up the middle. Sidearm throw and in time to end the inning. So Lustina gets on for the Tigers, but they can't do anything with it. Scoreless 4th for Trinity. We head to the top of the 5th, tied at 3. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. 3-3 between Mary Hardin-Baylor and Trinity. Sam Rickman still on the mound for the Tigers. As he faces Jordan Fernandez, the 9-hole hitter for UMHB. 0-for-1 today, hitting .355 on the season. Big swing and a foul ball off the bat of Fernandez. We mentioned the high slugging percentage of Fernandez, a .733. And part of that slugging, getting him in the starting lineup more routinely for Mary Hardin-Baylor. Has to get out of the way of that pitch. Brings the count to 1-1. He's started the last 3 games for UMHB after making 3 starts in his previous 9 appearances, so becoming much more of a regular in this lineup. This is lined, but foul into the bullpen of Mary Hardin-Baylor.
And the wind is whipping up a storm right now, Cole. I'm getting pretty sick of the wind, not gonna lie.
It has not gone away for these past 2 weeks, and just in time for all of our home games where we're broadcasting from an outdoor setup. Gotta love it. Pitch from Rickman misses outside, 2-2. Of course, now that the Tigers are going on the road for 2 straight weeks, it's going to go away and will promptly return when we're back for that series against Schreiner. At least I assume. That's usually how these things work out. 2-2 is hit in the air to right field, hangs up there. McDonald camps under it and makes the catch. Right into the wind, not the direction that Fernandez would have wanted to hit it.
No, that ball came into a standstill in the air. It was probably a much stronger hit ball, but that wind, that pesky wind, Cole, keeps it farther in.
This is a complete opposite direction it usually blows. Carson Hagan, the leadoff batter for UMHB, now up to the plate with 1 down, takes a strike. Against Cortland, routinely it was blowing out into right field. Very, very strong from our left to our right, and now almost the exact opposite direction. So helping out anybody trying to hit a ball into left field now. Count now 1-1. One pitch, 1 down for Rickman. Ball high, 2-1. Hagan has a hit in this game, trying to collect another one and potentially get on base. Pitch high, 3-1, and this is not the guy you want to walk. We talked about it earlier, 13 for 14 in stolen base attempts, and UMHB steals a lot of bases. 3-1 is lined past the dive of Ramsey and into left field, a base hit for Carson Hagan.
Again, Cole, got a dangerous base runner on once again. Very similar to how we got on last time, I believe, with Ramsey just barely not being able to make the diving play on a ground ball. Just a good job finding the hole between Ramsey and Anderson.
And now Cameron Talbert, 2 for 2 today, 333 hitter on the year, drops down a bunt. Anderson makes the play offline. Well backed up by Lustina at second, but it will still cost the Tigers a base, and that will be an E5 on Grant Anderson. Had it in his glove, made that play, but could not finish the throw.
Maybe a bit unexpected by the Tigers since Talbert just hit that home run, so maybe weren't expecting him to drop a bunt there. Causes the poor throw from Anderson. It's a throw that he had made before, but that time it goes a bit awry.
Tyler Betts now up to the plate. Betts in his 11th game of the year, hitting third in this lineup. Works with an opportunity to give Mary Hardin-Baylor the lead. Runners at the corners, 1 down, and off and going. Lazara will instead throw to third, afraid of the double steal from Hagan. 2 runners in scoring position for the Crusaders.
I think Lazara was hoping that Hagan would be taking a bigger lead off of third when the runner went off to second. The goal for UMHB there was have him throw it to second so they could send Hagan home.
So he puts runners on second and third for UMHB. Talbert gets the stolen base. That's his 12th of the season. Big swing and a miss from Betts. Count 0-1, but I was talking about UMHB and how many bases they steal. They're second in the country with 71 stolen bases. And I talked to Coach Mike Stosky about that. Stosky saying that's just a part of his offensive philosophy. 1-0 from Rickman, misses, 2-0. Excuse me, the count 2-1. Graphics are a little off at the moment. Wind blowing even stronger, gusts up to 30 miles per hour today. 2-1 pitch is lined into right field. It's a base hit. 1 run coming across. Here comes Talbert, and UMHB takes the 5-3 lead. A 2 RBI single from Tyler Betts.
Yeah, good swing for Betts. Kind of reaches out to poke it out in the right field. That scores more runs. It's what UMHB does. They want to try and kill you with some small ball. That's what they are the best at, given the speed they have on the base paths.
Riley Bender will come up to the plate with one down and a runner on. But small ball is the apt word to describe it. Coach Scott Stosky telling me that you're not going to hit around some of the best arms in the country. That's just not how this works. You have to take bases somehow, and they do that by bunting, and they do that by stealing a lot. Multiple players in the double digits on stolen bases this season. Rickman will check on the runner at first, and Betts, who dives back safely. UMHB, a very tough offense to go against, so a tough task for Trinity in a bullpen game. Ball high, count 2-0. Had the 3-0 lead, but 5 unanswered runs from Mary Hardin-Baylor.
It's one of the advantages they get, that they get to throw their dude on the mound because they just haven't played that many weekend series.
2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Count now 2-1. The ASC a little bit in flux in terms of the number of teams it has, both Concordia and McMurray leaving this series along with the University of the Ozarks. So not as many conference games to play. Lazera will throw to second. It is in time. So Bender caught stealing, and that's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, it's the risk you run with the aggressive base running style that UMHB has, is that you're going to get caught sometimes and put batters into maybe not their preferable situations. A good throw by Lazera.
This is hit in the air, sky high, drifting foul and out of play, and it is just short of us and the roof. That took a very high bounce. I'll try and describe it the best I can. It landed in front of the roof where we're broadcasting from, out of sight, and then bounced so high that we saw it again from the roof.
Yeah, if it was a little closer, we might be able to reach out and grab it. Someone was at the edge.
So Rickman working in a 3-2 count. Fouled off again, and we'll do it again. Full count, 2 down in the inning. Head coach Mike Stosky telling me that he's led the nation in steals 6 times in his tenure at UMHB, and he's had the national leader in steals 4 different times. So he loves to run the bases. This is hit in the air, sky high to center. Woodward makes the call, and the catch to end the inning, but Mary Hardin-Baylor takes its first lead of the game. 2 runs in the top of the 5th. We're halfway through this one. The Crusaders have the 5-3 lead. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Mary Hardin-Baylor with the 5-3 lead over the Trinity Tigers. Maddox McDonald leading things off in this inning. McDonald 0 for 2 today. Trying to get his first hit of the day and get the Tigers going a little bit, who haven't scored any runs since the bottom of the 2nd. Mary Hardin-Baylor has scored in every inning since then. This is sharply grounded to third. Short, and Klein makes the throw in time for out number 1.
And a bit of a tough stretch continues for McDonald. He's been trying to get on base as best as he can. He almost outruns that one. A bit of a closer play than might have been thought off the bat. But still, McGlumphy gets the better of the 2-hole bat.
Catcher Nick Lazera comes up to the plate, 1 down in the inning. Talked a little bit about the series Lazera had against SUNY Cortland, hitting 2 home runs. Pitch inside, and we talked about the intentional walks. That was the first time either of us had seen anybody intentionally walked in a game here.
Yeah, no, it does not happen very often. He was intentionally walked twice, which made it even more weird.
The 1-0 pitch is driven out to right field, but the catch will be made. Out number 2.
McGlumphy's really hitting his stride right now. Lazera kind of goes golfing for that breaking ball. Man, he's batting left because it's the favorable matchup, but maybe not with the wind. That ball died really fast.
Will Baker coming up to the plate. 1 for 1 today, and also a very nice defensive play out there in left field, making his first start in the outfield this season. Takes a strike. I got to talk to Nick Lazera about those home runs and about being intentionally walked. And he said what made it more enjoyable for him is the pitcher was protesting a little bit from Cortland, and head coach Joe Brown saying, he hit a homer off you. What do you want me to do? Strike taken, 0-2 to Baker. Baker trying to get something going with 2 down. Trinity scoring all 3 of their runs with 2 outs in an inning. Check swing did not go. Count now 1-2. McGlumphy wanted to hear to point and say yes, like Baker swung, but not the case. The 1-2. Pitch from McGlumphy is shot out into right field, and it gets down. Ball finds the wall, and Baker sliding into second base with a 2-out double.
Yeah, it's a great strike into right field. Just a great strong swing from Baker into that wind as well. So you know it was hit hard for how far it traveled, just past the outstretched glove of the right fielder.
Jordan Fernandez played very far in because of the wind and right over his head. Jack Henning up to the plate. He represents the tying run here in the 5th, just trying to drive in Will Baker with 2 outs in the frame. Takes a strike. Henning 0 for 2. Baker's double, the 7th hit of the night for Trinity. Trying to parlay that into some more runs. Fastball, strike called down the middle, 0-2. Ball high. Deck having to come out of his stance to get that one. Trinity trying to extend the inning. Baker at second, the 1-2 count to Henning. Hit in the air, right field. Fernandez camps under it and makes the catch that will end the inning. 3 consecutive scoreless innings thrown by McGlumphy. He's worked 5 so far as we head to the 6th in San Antonio. We'll be back on Tiger Network 5-3. UMHB has the lead. Welcome back to windy San Antonio. Sam Rickman back on the mound for the Tigers. Mary Hardin-Baylor with the 5-3 lead on the campus of Trinity University. Rickman trying to keep it that way and give his offense a chance to get some runs back. Shane Mellick swings at the first pitch and fouls it down the third base line. It's a strong offensive season from Mary Hardin-Baylor. We reference some of the accolades they have. Another one is a .557 team slugging percentage. That is 14th in the country. Swing and a miss from Mellick, count 0-2. Talked to Coach Stockey about that. Head coach Mike Stockey, traditionally a pitching coach, was looking for a new assistant. His old assistant left to be the head coach of Hardin-Simmons, who we'll see tomorrow. Swung on and fouled out of play. Count still 0-2. But he decided he's just going to look for the best assistant he can find regardless of position. Found a different pitching coach, which means he took over the offense, and he said them swinging the bat really well has made it a very easy transition for him. I was wondering how that would go, and so far it's gone very, very well. Swung on and fouled into the bullpen of UMHB.
Bit of a cheer from the bullpen of UMHB. Guessing somebody made a play on it. Or it hit off of something. That's what
it sounded like. I heard a clunk of some kind. The 0-2. Did he go? First base umpire says no. So the second base umpire seems to have moved to third base. I assume that's what happens when there's nobody on. Learning something new about the three-man ump crew. 1-2, swung that time. Goes around, and it's a strikeout for Sam Rickman, one down in the inning.
It's a good bounce back for Rickman after a bit of a tough entrance into the game. Get the first batter out. We'll see if it can keep rolling.
Alejandro Sanchez the third up to the plate. 14 RBI on the season, 4 home runs. Takes the ball outside, 1-0. One down in the inning, nobody on. The wind still going as it has for the last 2 weeks and what seems like 2 years here in San Antonio. The 1-0. Swung on and hit sky high out of play. 1-1.
You're learning things about how the three umpire crew works. They like to have them down the lines just in case there's any balls hit down the line. Priority one is to make sure you get the fair foul call correct.
The 1-1, big swing and a miss, 1-2. Rickman trying to settle in after giving up 2 runs in the last inning. So far off to a good start. 1 down, a 1-2 count here. Pitch high, 2-2. 88 on that one.
He's throwing with some heat, Cole. Trying to blow away some of these Crusader bats.
2-2 pitch. Chopper to short. Ramsey can't make the play. A little bit of a bobble. And we'll see if that's a hit or an error, a close play. So I'd be inclined to say a hit for Sanchez.
Yeah, the ball was hit weakly. Sanchez is fast enough to run that out. It could go either way.
It could. He was not as far down the line as I thought looking at that replay. And the E has flashed on the scoreboard. The second error of the game for Trinity. Trey Deck, the third, coming up. Big swing and a miss. Strike 1. Deck 1 for 2 today. 750 OPS on the year, working with Sanchez on first.
I've tried a couple of hit and runs already today. Does that seem like a situation where maybe one's dialed up?
Throw to first, and the ball gets away. Henning has to go out and recover it, but Sanchez not able to get to his feet and take the bag. pitch away. Count 1-1. There have been some defensive substitutions for Trinity. Will Baker moving back to first base. Pierce Matthews coming into left field.
That guy's not ready. Pierce Matthews.
Runner goes. The throw not in time, and a stolen base for Sanchez.
It's what they like to do, Cole. Send the runner. It was a good throw by Lazera. It was on line, but just some fast base runners for the Crew. That's why they lead the nation time and time again in stolen bases.
They will go whenever and wherever. So we'll see if Sanchez decides to take third and test his luck. 2-1 pitch. Sanchez sprints back to second, though nobody covering it. Count. UMHB trying to extend the lead and score in their fourth consecutive inning. The wind blowing directly into my microphone there. And it will do it again, and probably for the rest of the night as well. Fastball finds the zone for strike 3. And Rickman gets his first strikeout of the night. 2 down in the inning.
Caught the outer edge of the zone. I don't blame Deck for looking at that one. That was a bit borderline on whether it would have been called a strike or not.
Excuse me, that's Rickman's first strikeout of the inning. That's what I meant to say. Easton Klein now up, the sophomore from Mesa, Arizona. Making his 12th start of the season. Runner goes. Throw to third, not going to be in time. So 2 stolen bases in the inning for Alejandro Sanchez.
It's a tough throw for Lazera. He kind of threw it too high. I'm not sure even if the throw was on line, he was going to get Sanchez, but because Sanchez had a great jump.
1-0. Slider finds the zone. Count 1-1. It's now a little bit easier to get that insurance run in. UMHB, one of the best offensive teams in the state so far. Trinity, not too bad themselves. I think 2 runs, probably not a comfortable situation for the Crusaders to be in, trying to add on. Count 2-1. Lazera has to slide over to block that pitch. It misses. 3-1. Klein trying to reach for the first time today. He's 0 for 2. Hit in the air and out of play, foul, just shy of the roof. No hops for this ball.
He's worked him into a full count situation. And Klein, if he wants to score the runner, it's got to be a hit. Can't sacrifice the run home.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a slider. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sam Rickman as he gets out of the inning. A scoreless 6 for Mary Hardin-Baylor. Bottom of the frame coming up for the Tigers. They're down by 2. We'll be back on Tiger Network. Welcome back to a windy One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas. The temperature slowly dropping here as the sun gets further and further away from us. James McGlumphy back out for his 6th inning of work. And he'll face Brandon Nelson, who's 0 for 2 today. Nelson, a .324 hitter on the year. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it into the screen above the Tiger dugout. Nelson's made a few pinch hitting appearances in recent games. Made 2 against SUNY Cortland, but getting the start today with the righty on the mound. Cortland throwing a lot of lefties, and they had a lot of success. So far, Trinity trying to get to the starting righty for UMHB. The 0-1 is lined up the middle, a base hit for Brandon Nelson, the 8th hit of the day for Trinity, and the leadoff man is aboard.
And that's what they're going to need to start doing. You got to start hitting McGlumphy right over his head. Right now, Cole, they're trying to play the matchup, but that one game where Trajan Lee started, I think game 3, where it was the worst conditions for a righty. This is the best conditions for a righty right now in terms of not giving up the long ball.
The righty Grant Anderson comes up to the plate looking for his first hit of the night. Drops down a bunt. Third baseman looks to second, but eventually throws to first, taking the out.
Riley Bender jumped on that one real quick, Cole. He was already at the ball before it even got past the mound, or even to the mound, rather. Made the play easy. They don't risk going to. There was no reason to risk it. But it's a runner in scoring position for the Tigers.
So the sacrifice is complete. Grant Anderson retired on the sacrifice bunt, and Michael Lustina, the hottest hitter of the game, will come up to the plate. 2 for 2 in this one. 2 base hits, looking pretty much the same right up the middle. Works with Brandon Nelson on second, takes strike 1 from McGlumphy. It looked like on that replay that Riley Bender maybe had a play at second. Elected to go to first, but you're right, no point in risking it. Would have been 2 on with nobody out. Nelson at second. This is lined, but foul. Looked like Lustina might have a shot into right field down the line, just too far to the right for him.
Man, they don't risk going to second, Cole, because right now the Tigers haven't really proven that they can score a runner in scoring position right now, so what's the point of risking it as well?
Lustina down 0-2. 1 down in the inning. Pitch high, and it's 1-2.
Easy watch when the ball is coming in at your eye level.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's the get out of the way signal coming in through your brain. Nelson still waiting on second. Lustina in a 1-2 count. Big swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, Cole, that wasn't a very challenging swing. He swung at a pitch that was not breaking and very high. I think Lustina's going to want that one back.
He represents the second out of this inning, and a pinch hitter coming in for the Tigers. It's Thomas Moss, who will come in for John Ramsey. So Moss up to the plate with 2 down and a runner on second. Trinity trying to get this run here in the 6th, down 2. Moss, who made a start in the game against Cortland at second base. Takes a pitch at the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Was the only start that Moss had made on the year. He's made several pinch hitting appearances. Now trying to come up big and put the Tigers within a run. The 0-1 misses. Slider too far outside, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, he's been playing about everywhere, Cole. I mean, coming in for John Ramsey, he'll be at shortstop. He started second base in that game, in the last game he started in.
pitch from McGlumphy, the 1-1. Low. Deck tried to frame it, but to no avail, 2-1. See the numbers on your screen for Thomas Moss. He's a .375 hitter on the year. 2-1. Breaking ball outside, a good take by Moss.
It's a bit of a batter's count for Moss. I think the rationale for the pinch hit is that you want to get something offensive going, because with Ramsey, you're more likely to get a ground out and end the inning. They want to flip it over to Woodward.
Top of the order on deck. And time called, a time clock violation on the pitcher. McGlumphy took too long, and that's ball 4. Moss will head to first.
Man, Cole, I wasn't really expecting that ending to that AB. Yeah, just take the trot over to first base. I'm not quite, it felt kind of samey to me. I didn't think it took that long.
I was going to say, that did not feel like he held the ball forever. There was no alarm bell going off in my head that he was taking too long. And it looks like a pinch runner coming into the game, so Thomas Moss will flip the helmet to Jarrett Phillips. Phillips, who's come in to pinch run before, has some speed. And if something is hit deeply enough, he can probably score from first with 2 down in the inning off at first contact.
It's a very interesting situation, Cole. You know, when we had that moment at Cortland where Chris Bonacci was rung out on a time violation, that felt like a long time for him to get back to the base. That did not feel like a long time for McGlumphy to get into his motion.
So we'll see how he responds facing the top of this Tigers lineup in Caleb Woodward. Runners on first and second for Trinity. Down 2. First pitch inside to Woodward. Woodward had a 4-walk game during this spring break. First Tiger to do that at home this year. 1-0 to Woodward, who hits one into left field. Will it fall fair? No, it drifts foul. Hits the wall of the bullpen, and everybody has to go back.
I think the wind maybe having a bit of an influence on that play. It looked like off the bat it was going to be a close whether it was going to be on the line or not, but starts slicing foul. That's ultimately what happens. Unfortunate for Woodward, because that would have done some damage.
Now the 1-1 count, 2 outs on the board. Woodward just mere feet away from tying this game in all likelihood. Takes a pitch inside, and it hit his leg. That will load the bases with 2 down in the 6th.
It's the biggest moment for McGlumphy right now. We'll see the pitch right now coming in. Yep, it goes off his thigh. Bases loaded. Maddox McDonald. If there's any time to get your first hit of the day, it would be now, Cole, with the bases loaded.
McDonald in a little bit of a slump recently, only 4 hits in his last 25 at-bats, but the average still very healthy, hovering right around 350. It shows you what a hitter he can be when he's on. Comes up with the bases loaded and drives one out into right field, right into the wind. It hangs up, and Fernandez makes the catch. McGlumphy out of the jam. Trinity leaves the bases loaded in the 6th. This is still a 2-run game on Tiger Network. 5-3. The Crusaders have the lead. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Top of the 7th. It's getting late here on the campus of Trinity University. The Tigers down 5-3 to Mary Hardin-Baylor. Jordan Fernandez up to the plate to lead things off. Takes ball 1 from Sam Rickman, who's back out there for another inning of work. Tigers getting some length out of him with a game tomorrow. Big swing and a miss from Fernandez. Count now 1-1. Trinity leaving the bases loaded in the last inning, and Reed, going to be hard to get better opportunities than that.
Yeah, Cole, it was unfortunate.
Fouled off over the screen onto the bell center, close to the camera, just shy.
I almost knocked your camera out of commission. That was nerve-wracking.
Nobody guarding it right now either. Was on line, but didn't have the distance, thankfully. 1-2 pitch is grounded off the end of the bat to Lustina, who makes the throw in time for out number 1. Some defensive changes in for the Tigers. John Ramsey was pinch hit for, and he is replaced at shortstop by Cam Champness. Now the leadoff batter coming up for UMHB, it's Carson Hagan, the senior from Arlington, Texas. 2 for 3 today, 2 singles right in the direction of short. So Champness may see the ball early in his appearance in this game. Count now 1-0 after that last pitch missed. Close pitch inside at 86 miles per hour, 2-0. Rickman having to deal with the teeth of this UMHB lineup. Dangerous throughout, but especially at the top if they get on base. Sharply fouled into the screen above the Trinity dugout on the third base side.
It's unfortunate that the Tigers weren't able to score, but maybe a little more unfortunate is that I forgot my jacket, and it is now officially to the point where I'm a bit chilly.
Fouled off again, the count 1-2. Do you like my sweatshirt between intermissions? In between innings, excuse me. At intermission, if you want to call it that. 7th inning stretch, that's an intermission.
I might take it. It is. Just wait for the wind to go away. If it ever does.
That's not happening. I was just going to say. 2-2, swing and a miss. Hagan strikes out, and Rickman has retired the first 2 Crusaders of this inning.
Hey, he wasn't too interested in us talking about the weather. Left in a hurry. But good job from Rickman. He's worked well in this frame, trying to send it back to the boys with the bats to rally themselves up.
Cameron Talbert now up with 2 down. He scored the first runs of the game for UMHB, hitting a 2-run homer. Pitch catches the edge of the zone for strike 1. UMHB failed to score in the 6th. Rickman trying to work back-to-back scoreless innings. As Talbert waves at that one, he went around. Or no, he didn't. The call from the first base umpire is that it was a check swing. Not so sure about that one from this angle. So the count now 1-1 instead of 0-2. Rounded to Champness, makes a nice pick. The throw in time on a hop. So Camden Champness, who just entered the game at shortstop, called upon early, makes a good play to end the inning. It's stretch time in San Antonio. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th coming up next. Welcome back. The bottom of the 7th inning here on the campus of Trinity University. A new pitcher in for the Crusaders. It's Nicholas Finner, the senior from Canton, Texas, making his 5th appearance of the season. He's pitched 10.2 innings with an ERA of 3.37. He was an all-ASC honorable mention last season. He comes in trying to secure the win for Mary Hardin-Baylor. Goes against Nick Lazera, 1 for 3 today. A .355 average on the season. Finner already has 2 saves this season. Lined into the screen. Foul off the bat of Lazera. This would, I would assume, be another one. I don't know exactly how that works. He pitches the final 3 innings, so I think that would get it done.
I think so. Now I'm questioning my rules of what is given a save.
Lazera hits this one high, but slicing out of play, and it is. Count now 1-2. Saw the whip on the screen for Finner. Below 1, .75. He's been very good when he's come into games, trying to shut the door on Trinity here. Lazera lines this one into right field. It's a leadoff single. Throw to first. Oh, that was interesting. Fernandez nearly had him.
Interesting indeed, Cole. It was hit shallow enough. Oh boy, Cole. That was a bit too close for comfort for Lazera, I'm sure. But it's due to playing shallow into right because of this wind. Yeah, crazy. You really only see a play like that in softball usually. But no, that was, man.
Bill Baker up to the plate, 2 for 2 today. Had a double his last time up. Takes a ball outside, 1-0. It's not even like Lazera was just jogging down the line. He was running, and still almost the 9-3 putout. Now the 1-0 to Baker. Fastball finds zone, 1-1. An interesting alignment from Jordan Fernandez in right field now. He's backed up after what happened the last time Will Baker came up to the plate, hit a ball over his head. Seems to be a little wiser to that now. 1-1, a breaking ball, misses low, 2-1.
Yeah, it's getting interesting, Cole. Tigers have a base runner on first with no outs. They're trying to advance them, make this comeback.
Down 5-3, have not scored since the second. Inside, 3-1. And Finner, a guy who came in with a whip below 1, in danger of allowing the first 2 to reach in this inning. Chopped to second, flipped to short, on to first in time. A 4-6-3 double play, and there's 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, the Crew's defense has just been immaculate tonight, Cole. Another double play turned by Mary Hardin-Baylor. That's what they needed. That's the boost they need.
Pierce Matthews comes up to the plate. Hitting .417 on the year, making his first batting appearance today. Came in defensively in left field a couple of innings ago, takes strike 1. Now works in a very different situation than what could have been. The double play turned by Mary Hardin-Baylor after Nick Lazera got the leadoff single. Fastball misses outside, count now 1-1. Pitch to Matthews. Swung on and hit to center field, ranging over and making the catch to end the inning. That's the end of 7. We'll head to the top of the 8th in San Antonio. Tigers still trail 5-3 against Mary Hardin-Baylor. We'll be back on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City, the top of the 8th. Mary Hardin-Baylor up 5-3 against Trinity. Tyler Betts set to lead off this inning, facing Sam Rickman, who's worked a good chunk of this one so far, remaining in the game. First pitch, a fastball inside. Betts has to get out of the way, 1-0. But Reed, Rickman providing the Tigers some good length. They have a game tomorrow, trying to save up some arms for that one. The 1-0 misses high, 2-0.
Yeah, it's a game against another ASC opponent in Hardin-Simmons. Be another non-conference challenge game for the Tigers.
Pitch skipped into the dirt, 3-0.
And I think they're expecting Rickman to go this entire inning, Cole, because I don't see anybody warming up for the Tigers right now.
Rickman, in his second appearance of the season, made his first against SUNY Cortland. The 3-0, fastball down the chute, strike one.
He's getting, you're right, Cole, he's getting a long appearance, over 3 innings pitched.
3-1. High, ball 4, and a leadoff walk handed to Tyler Betts. And as we've discussed throughout this game, walking these UMHB hitters can prove very dangerous. They can wind up in scoring position very quickly.
I'm sure the Tigers will try and turn a double play of their own. They haven't had too many double plays in their season so far, and with the runners as fast as they are at Mary Hardin-Baylor, it's a tall task.
Riley Bender up to the plate, the senior from Kingwood, Texas. An all-ASC honorable mention last year at third base. Fouls one onto the roof. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Apologize, the wind was probably pretty bad there. I turned my face into it to see how many hops the ball had. Not a record breaker. Betts on first, nobody out. They check on him, and Betts dives back safely. As you said, Reed, nobody up for the Tigers in the bullpen, so expecting Sam Rickman to finish this inning, and we'll see how many more after that. Pitch misses low, count 1-1. But Trinity trying to get their offense going. It's been slow going. The one home run from Caleb Woodward with 2 down in the second gave him a 3-0 lead, but since then, nothing. Trinity does have 9 hits, but has not been able to cash in on those opportunities and turn those into runs. Throw to first, not in time. Betts dives back safely. Hits actually even at 9 apiece between UMHB and Trinity, but obviously UMHB has been able to parlay that into 2 more runs. The 1-1, lined into center field, and that's the 10th hit for UMHB. First 2 on for the crew.
Yeah, it's such a smart approach at the plate. Don't swing for the fences, just get it into the outfield. And that's what he does. Keeps the train rolling for Mary Hardin-Baylor. And for Rickman, it's a tough task.
And pitching coach Dave Smith coming out to the mound. And this will be a pitching change. There was nobody throwing, but somebody's ready. They're coming in. New pitcher in San Antonio when we come back. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. New pitcher in for the Tigers. It's John McGowan. Comes in with a high ERA above 13. Opportunity to lower that in this outing. McGowan, a sidearm. So we weren't seeing him warm up before, and that might be why. Not necessarily needing it. Runners go. Throw to third. It's going to be close. Not in time. An immediate protest from Tim Scannell and the rest of that Tigers dugout, as they thought Lazera made a good throw in time.
We'll take a look on the replay call. Well, they thought he was out.
Yeah, we know that. They thought he was out. Lazera certainly thought he was out. And, yeah, he's frustrated. Frustrated that that call didn't get made. We'll see if we can see that again. Oh, yeah, rewind. There we go.
Hit rewind.
There we go. Now we're going to get it.
Watch
Pitch
him go.
fouled off. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, Reed. Either way, the double steal, effective. 2 runners in scoring position now for Mary Hardin-Baylor. Nobody out. 1-1 count to Melick. McGowan ready to go. Swing and a miss. Actually foul it off. Pitch close in on the hands. Count now 1-2. Tyler Betts on third base. A little bit of controversy whether he was safe or not. Trying to come in to score. Chopped, and a nice diving play by Anderson. We'll see if he makes the throw. Does so in time and holds the runner. 1 down in the inning.
Heckle, that's exactly what the Tigers needed. Great snag. Get the out at first. Unfortunately, they may need another play like that because you still got runners on second and third, but to have that first out, it's pretty big.
Second baseman Alejandro Sanchez, the third up to bat. Senior from Fort Worth, Texas. McGowan trying to get out of the jam. Lined foul into the screen. 0-1. Sanchez, a dangerous power hitter, a .604 slugging percentage. Seeing what he can do with runners on second and third. A chance to extend the lead. Pulls back a bunt. Lazera faked like he was going to throw to third. Ends up keeping it right where it is. Count 1-1.
I wonder if it was the intended play to bunt or maybe just to take a look at how the pitch is coming from McGowan, get a better vantage point.
The 1-1 to Sanchez. Offers at it, but the ball gets away. Lazera able to recover, and no advancement from the runners. Betts staying at third.
Well, that was a bit scary, Cole. Good job by Lazera to get back to the ball in time. Doesn't let a run score.
So the 1-2. A strikeout here from McGowan would be huge. We'll see if he gets it. Misses low, 2-2.
He's been attacking low this entire AB, Cole. He's really trying to get him to chase. No cigar quite yet.
Bender gets a massive lead at second. Nobody covering the base, holding him on. He's almost halfway. As Champness is in on the infield grass, ready. 2-2 pitch, inside ball 3, the infield all the way in for the Tigers.
You know, even if a walk is drawn here, it's not the worst situation because you get the force outs at all the bases. But I'm sure for team morale, you want to strike out.
Infield in for Trinity as time is called. McGowan looked like he stepped off, and now we'll have a quick meeting between Sanchez and third base coach. Going over the situation, this is an important sequence for UMHB, trying to extend the lead. A base hit would make it 7-3. And now a meeting between pitcher and catcher halfway.
I wonder what pitch they'll dial up here. It's a big situation for the Tigers because I feel like if these runs score, it's going to be maybe a bit too much for the Tigers to make a comeback from this late in the game.
Only 6 outs to work with. They would love it if it was only 2 runs that they had to make up. Bender goes. This is hit in the air, deep to center field. Woodward on the run. He makes the catch. Betts tags from third, and he will score. This is 6-3, a sacrifice fly off the bat of Alejandro Sanchez.
It was hit into a dangerous part of the field, Cole. That one almost looked like it was going to get down and cause some damage, but the speed of Woodward being able to range over and get the play. I think this Tiger team knew that they might be surrendering at least 1 run, but now they'll try not to surrender a second.
The infield will back up to its normal position, and pitching coach Dave Smith coming out. Looks like this is just a meeting, nobody ready to come in yet. McGowan trying to get out of this inning, has allowed 1 to score so far. That run charged to not himself. Sam Rickman will be charged with that run. Betts coming in to score from third on the sacrifice fly. Not a full infield meeting. Just pitching coach, pitcher, and catcher, and now it's adjourned. McGowan will face the catcher, Trey Deck III. The junior making his 4th start of the season. Trying to extend the lead. Another insurance run out there on third base in a 6-3 game. Pitch inside, 1-0 from McGowan. Slider misses low, 2-0. There's a strike. 2-1, 2 down in the inning still. UMHB trying to extend this lead up 6-3. Just misses. Close pitch there, but a ball called. 3-1 with 2 down. A walk, maybe not the worst thing in the world. We'll see if McGowan lets it happen. 3-1 pitch. Slider finds the inside part of the zone. Strike called, 3-2.
It's another big moment for McGowan, Cole. He can get out of the inning on this pitch, potentially.
Full count, 2 down. Inside, ball 4. And a 2-out walk worked by Deck. Runners at the corners.
They're just trying to work Deck low. And right now the strategy is not working out for McGowan right now. I think a quick pinch runner for UMHB.
That's Jesse Hemmerling coming into the game, the first year. Making his first appearance in this one. McGowan will face Easton Klein. Klein, the shortstop today, has made some nice defensive plays. Will try to extend the UMHB lead with his bat. Works with Hemmerling on first. Trying to see what he can do. Bender on third. Runner goes, and Hemmerling pitch for a strike, and no throw from Lazara. They will let Hemmerling have that one.
Yeah, no reason to throw. There's just too much risk involved with a throw to second base.
Now the 0-1 pitch to Klein. And McGowan will step off. So another stolen base for UMHB. That's the first of the season for Jesse Hemmerling. Pitch. Misses low, 1-1. It's already a difficult situation for the Tigers, who were up 3-0, 6 unanswered runs from UMHB. A base hit could make it 8 unanswered. Slider misses. And Lazara's body language suggests that he couldn't believe it. Two-one pitch from McGowan. Slider, strike called. So maybe a bit of evening out on that one. 2-2 pitch, 2 down in the inning, 2 runners on. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. So McGowan ends the inning with a strikeout, but UMHB tacks on another run. It's 6-3. The Crew have the lead in the 8th, bottom of the frame coming up, and the Tigers coming up to bat on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio, bottom of the 8th. UMHB able to add on an insurance run. They lead this game 6-3. Brandon Nelson will lead things off for the Tigers. First pitch is swung on, hit high in the air, shallow center, and the catch made for out number 1 on 1 pitch.
Nicole, I think this is kind of summed up the night for the Tigers, is that they need to be hitting stuff on the ground, and they are struggling in that department. That's what UMHB's done well. They came in with the proper approach. The Tigers they're struggling.
Grant Anderson now up. Takes a strike on the inside edge, 0-1 against Nicholas Finner, working in his second inning. You would assume trying to collect the final 5 outs of this one. Pitch misses way outside, 1-1. Finner had 3 saves last year. He has 2 already this season, going for his 3rd in this game. 1-1. Chop to third. And the throw over in time. Nice ranging play by Riley Bender, and there's 2 away.
That's the other thing, Cole. Whenever the Tigers have been hitting ground balls, there's a Crusader waiting there to receive it. It's just been immaculate defense from the Crusaders. No errors on the board for them defensively. It's just been good baseball played by the Crew.
Michael Lustina up to the plate. He's 2 for 3 today. Works with nobody on and 2 down in the inning. Takes a fastball down the middle for a strike. Unusual for the season for the Tigers to be struggling to hit ground balls. If you go to any of their practices, that's what they preach during batting practice. Hard ground balls win top half, and not really seeing any of that today. The 0-1 misses inside, 1-1. But this last week, it seems like they've been getting away from that mentality that worked so well for them in the early part of the year. This team was 13-1. They've won their last two, but a 3-game losing streak. 15-4 overall, in danger of going to 15-5. Ball in the dirt misses, 2-1.
You know, Lucina is given the task to try and get something started for the Tigers again. It's a similar position a couple innings ago, or a lot of innings ago.
Pitch finds the zone, evens the count at 2-2. Lucina checking where that was in the strike zone with the home plate umpire. Comes up to the plate, trying to extend the inning. 2 outs on the board, 2-2 count. Outside, ball 3, brings the count full. This at bat, you would assume, pretty big. The 9-hole hitter on deck. You want to lead off the top of the 9th with the top of your order at the very least. 3-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 4, and Lucina on base for the 3rd time today.
A good plate appearance for Lucina. You're absolutely right, Cole. You want to start the bottom of the 9th if we get there with, you know, the good part of your batting order up to hit. But, you know, I think they take a 2-out rally too, potentially.
Tying run is on deck, and Cam Champness came in defensively for John Ramsey after he was pinch hit for. First pitch misses in the dirt. 1-0 to Champness. Champness, who hasn't seen a lot of action in the last week, finally getting into a game, and we'll see what he can do at the plate. Tigers like his offensive upside at shortstop. Lucina waiting on first. Pitch misses high, 2-0. Ground ball, and Sanchez is there at second to end the inning. It's called going the short way. That's about as short as it gets. It sends us to break. Top of the 9th in San Antonio. UMHB up 6-3. We'll be back on Tiger Network. We're back in San Antonio, top of the 9th on the campus of Trinity University. John McGowan back on the mound for the Tigers, trying to hold the deficit where it's at 3. He'll face the bottom of the order in Jordan Fernandez. Swing and a foul into the screen behind him, 0-1. Tigers down to their last 3 outs, and we'll see what they have in store for who's going to come up to the plate. This is hit on the ground to Anderson at third. Throw in time, and one away quickly for Trinity. And we're going to get a quick pitching change. So John McGowan just in for that one batter. The lineup will flip over, and we will have a pitching change in San Antonio. Dave Smith takes the ball, and that takes us to break. Welcome back to San Antonio. First pitch from the new pitcher, Will Taylor, gets away, ball one. Will Taylor coming in, trying to secure the final 2 outs of the 9th inning. And he faces the top of the UMHB lineup, Carson Hagan. Hagan with multiple hits on the day already. Pitch outside, 2-0. I want to give a shout out to our executive producer, Josh Muchagemba, who is currently acting as a windshield for us. That's why it may sound a little better right now. He's holding up something, and it's blocking the wind. Pitch from Taylor misses, 3-0. Trying to avoid the 4-pitch walk. And he does. Catches the top of the zone. Strike one.
He's pitching him careful, Cole. Or maybe just missing his marks, more like.
3-1. Fouled into the Tiger bullpen. Brings the count to 3-2 as Taylor battles back. UMHB came into this game 9-5. Solid start out of conference as they have yet to play anybody in the ASC. 3-2 pitch misses, ball 4, and Taylor does hand out the leadoff walk eventually.
He's trying to get him to chase, didn't bite. There's one out on the board. We're looking for some insurance runs, UMHB.
Now the number 2 hitter, Cameron Talbert, up to the plate. Has a home run in this game. Runner goes. Throw to second will not be in time, and that's a stolen base for Carson Hagan. He's at second.
Again, another good stolen base for the Crew. That's textbook as it gets. I think that's their 4th stolen bag now. They've only been caught once.
We came in knowing that they stole a lot of bases and seeing that firsthand. Now a runner at second with only 1 down in the inning. Bunted, popped in the air, and Lazera can't get to it. The home plate umpire providing a little interference, unintentionally, of course, but still, Lazera clearly not happy about that.
He'll see it on the replay. Yeah, Lazera, umpire, not getting out of the way, just standing there.
So probably not the best play by the home plate umpire there. Count 0-2. Finds the zone, strike 3, inside edge, and get the feeling he owed him that one.
Maybe Cole. We'll only know. We can't read minds, but One can only imagine.
I would assume it was a generous zone in that particular instance, or it was going to be. Fair or unfair, you can discuss at home. Tyler Betts comes up to the plate, 2 down in the 9th. Pitch from Taylor. Did he go? Yes, Betts goes around. Count now 0-1. UMHB off to a 9-5 start this year, but a 13-1 start last year. Kind of sputtered down the end of the year, a 500 team towards the back half, knocked out in the conference tournament. 0-1 misses in the dirt, 1-1. Head coach Mike Stosky feeling that UMHB is in a much better position to ascend towards the end of the year. 13-1 start, a 24-17 finish to the year, not the way you would have wanted it to end if you were the Crusaders. Now 9-5 thinks that they can finish better than the 24 win mark they had. Pitch misses low, count is 3-1.
And one of the big blockades that has been in their way is UT Dallas. They don't compete in the ASC tournament this year. That's a very, very good team that they won't have to face.
2-1 pitch, inside, edge of the zone, strike called.
They'll still play them in the season, but those conference games don't count for anything, and they also don't count for their NPI for at-large selection purposes.
UT Dallas making that move to Division II. 2-2 count. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3, and Taylor gets out of the inning unscathed, leaves the runner at second. We're headed to the top of the 9th. Tigers down to their final 3 outs. They need 3 runs when we come back. Welcome back to the bottom of the 9th in San Antonio. Top of the order coming up for the Tigers. Caleb Woodward leads off this inning. Woodward accounting for the only 3 runs the Tigers have to this point with his 3-run homer in the 2nd. He'll try and get the party started. See if the Tigers can get a bottom of the 9th rally. Squares up to bunt, but pulls it back for ball 1. Woodward facing Nicholas Finner. Going for his 3rd save of the season. He's worked a scoreless 7th and 8th inning so far. Ball high again, 2-0.
It's a real question of, can Finner get the job done? And if he starts struggling, how many arms is UMHB willing to expend to try and win this game?
2-0 count. Just misses, now 3-0.
And things would certainly be a bit of a red flag if you walked the leadoff batter.
3-0 pitch, we'll see if the red light is on. It is. Finds the zone, strike 1.
It got the lower inner part of that zone.
That pitch is high, ball 4, and a 5-pitch leadoff walk to start the bottom of the 9th.
It's not the start you're looking for if you're UMHB, Cole. These Tigers, cardiac cats for a reason.
Maddox McDonald now up with 1 on and nobody out. And hit on the head. So he'll take that. McDonald struggling at the plate recently, finds his way on. 2 on, tying run coming up to the plate.
Maybe that's just what the Tigers need. They had kind of a similar situation against Cortland where they were in a good situation, but it became better when a batter got hit.
And that will be the day for Nicholas Finner. Exits this one with the tying run coming up to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. We'll be back in San Antonio, 6-3. Mary Hardin-Baylor with the lead. Welcome back to the bottom of the 9th inning in San Antonio. A pitching change. Isaac Braun coming into the game to try and close this one out for UMHB, the senior from Anson, Texas, making his 5th appearance of the season, an ERA of 6.75. His last appearance came this past week against Muhlenberg. 2 hits allowed, a strikeout, no walks, 2 runs allowed, only 1 of them earned. Trying to get the final 3 outs of this one for the Crew. And facing one of the Tigers' most dangerous bats, the number 3 hitter and catcher, Nick Lazera. He represents the tying run in the bottom of the 9th. Lazera lines it to second. Throw to first is in time. And a double play, exactly what the doctor ordered for UMHB.
Yeah, Cole, there was one outcome that Lazera needed to avoid, and that was a double play. Tigers would have been in a much better position if there were no outs on the board or just one.
And a pinch hitter coming in for Will Baker. It is Diego Gomez coming up to the plate.
I thought for a moment that maybe they'd have Lazera drop a bunt to advance the runners, but trusted his bat.
Gomez working with 2 down in the 9th. Woodward at third. He advanced there after the double play. Strike call, the fastball.
And Cole, that is a gut punch to any momentum that the Tigers had. Double play. That's how you kill a team's momentum.
The 0-1 to Gomez. Big swing and a miss, and the Crusaders are 1 strike away. Alejandro Sanchez turning that double play. He's had a few on a tee, and this one looms large. Represents the 2 outs here in the 9th. The 0-2 pitch to Gomez. Takes the ball high, 1-2. Gomez trying to find his way on and bring the tying run to the plate in the 9th. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. Braun gets the save. He's fired up. And the Crusaders get the win in San Antonio.
Now, well-deserved, Cole. UMHB beat Trinity at basically every level of the game. They out-hit them, they out-pitched them, they out-fielded them, they out-approached them. It's not an exaggeration to say that every facet of this game was won by the Crusaders. They deserve this win. I'm sure the Tigers, when they go to Belton, will want some revenge. But for now, I think it's a really good day to be a fan of UMHB.
For the second year in a row, the Crusaders come into San Antonio and take a win here. Their 13th all-time win against the Trinity University Tigers. Next, it'll be Concordia, Texas, at home for UMHB. As for Trinity, they'll be at home against Hardin-Simmons tomorrow, and then on the road at the University of the Ozarks this weekend. Well, that's it for us in San Antonio. I appreciate everybody working in the control room and on cameras tonight, and of course, my partner, Reed Rosales. For all of those people, I'm Cole Isaacson saying so long from San Antonio. We hope to see you tomorrow.